Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April, moving into early May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in late April, early May? We are in Taurus season, beautiful time of year, but let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius in late April, early May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my good friends. What do we got? There we go. Thank you. Cool. So we have the femme fatale, nice, beautiful, confident type of energy, but there is this little level of temptation or danger whenever I see her. Now, again, there's a lot of really good aspects to this card, but I'm sure you could tell by some of that symbolism. It's like, okay, I'm gonna walk carefully with this one. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So the femme fatale, right? We see this beautiful lady over here. She is decked out in red from head to toe, even the lipstick, right? She just gives me huge Queen of Wands energy, and she has like this red rose, got the Venus flytraps, the red bird. So you see what I mean about the symbolism, because the red rose is beautiful and fragrant, but it also has thorns. And we have the Venus flytrap, which secretes a sweet smell to pull insects in and then traps it. So there is, I will say, in the positive sense, this could represent confidence. So for some Aquariuses, maybe feeling good, look good, feel even better type of vibes, where it's like, yep, I'm feeling great, nice high energy, love the confidence. It's just very alluring and very sexy too. So there could be something here about temptation. Whatever it might be. Again, it doesn't have to be person to person. If there's certain things that you're trying to resist, whether it's behaviors, whether it's habits. When I see the femme fatale, there's a certain allure, there's a certain pull to this energy. So again, great for your own confidence. The big downside though is you have to be cautious with something, right? Because although it's beautiful, although it's tempting and alluring, there is this level of danger tied to it, right? So maybe you have a little edge to you in this time, but we're going to let her chill over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. And yeah, I always say that, you know, this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. I already mentioned that. So let's get it going. Let's shuffle it up here one time for Aquarius. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled The Big Problem, which, you know, I usually am not a huge fan when I see problematic energy like I saw last week. But again, it's on a scale. For some Aquariuses, maybe it was something minor. For some of you, maybe it was something more. Or maybe just the overall energy felt like you were walking uphill. Maybe someone in particular was being problematic. That's very possible. So just keep your head on a swivel. That energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. What do we got for Aquarius, please? In late April, early May. Thank you. Cool. Wow. Okay. Tower, intense. Super, super intense. So don't get freaked out about the tower, right? And I think there was another, maybe the Leos had this. So that's interesting. Like the Leo Aquarius axis both start off the reading with a tower. And you know me, I say it every time a tower pops up. Not every tower is a bad one. It's just a very intense energy that's off to the races. Okay, we got the Seven of Pentacles, the complete and total opposites, where there's something about this energy that's all or nothing. I don't know why that's coming through. Let's get one more here, and we'll see what shows up. What do we got for Aquarius? Thank you. Okay. I mean, the Three of Cups, we're going to have to look at this, because I think for some of you, this might not even be all your energy that we're seeing here. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements first. I feel like that frames the reading and tells us how things are going to flow. And Yeah, we have the earth and water mixture this week, which I always say is good. Usually, when you mix the earth and water, it represents blessings and abundance, right? Because right here in the center, we have the earth and then water. And even though the tower looks like fire and brimstone, it's actually water energy, believe it or not. Now, when it comes to the water, that's matters of the heart. That's the internal emotional realm that we're looking at. It's very creative, it's very imaginative, it could be a little daydreamy. It's great for any sort of creative or artistic pursuits or thinking outside of the box. Great. Just watch the overthinking or over imagining. Uh, Water is great when it comes to personal relationships, connections, things that we are emotionally invested in. The downside to water is that sometimes it can be very overwhelming, right? Like sometimes we just get swept up with the water, and there's this interesting waxing and waning, like in and out, just like the tides that happens with water. In the center, we do get a little more predictability that pins things down. We have the earth. And I would say that represents stability and security, whether it's inner stability and security or just day to day life. I think of day to day life, routine. Um, every day at this time, I do this. That's what I always think of with earth. It could also be work, money, business, finances, home, and family. So the earthly matters. So it's interesting. It's like we have the internal matters of the heart and emotion. Then, boom, we have the actual practical world itself. But they do combine to form something beautiful. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we do start with a bang, right? And it's like these two energies on the front are extremely opposite, right? So right in the front, we have the tower, boom, right? And everyone gets all nervous when they see the tower. Scary, scary. Not so much. I mean, yes, it is a very powerful, intense type of energy. It could be a Scorpio if you're connected to a Scorpio, maybe some Scorpio placements if you have any, even if that's not the case. The tower can represent shock or just things that pop in out of the blue, out of the nowhere, like out of nowhere. So again, it doesn't always have to be the worst case scenario. Maybe this is a very good shock or a very pleasant surprise. But on the rougher side of the spectrum, the tower can cause a little bit of mayhem, right? It can be a little chaotic. It could represent hitting the reset button. It could be very karmic energy as well. So there could be upheaval, and sometimes it could also represent the close of a cycle. So we're going to have to see what's up. So whether it's a good tower or a rough one. Right now, I'm feeling a little neutral about it, especially with the other cards we have out in this spread. Because it's not like we have a 10 of swords here and a 7 of swords there. It's like, all right, we got the tower. That's intense. But that is what it is. Moving to the middle, we have the 7 of pentacles. Total opposite, right? And we see this person, they're just sitting there waiting for those pentacles to grow. Like, la, 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 la. Just taking their time. This is a huge card of patience. Not much action. Not much is happening. So you see what I mean? It's like full go, full stop. Everything, nothing. Tower moment, and then the aftermath. That's like what this Seven of Pentacles can be. And I don't mean to say aftermath to make anyone on edge, but it's like not really doing anything right now. In the positive sense, this card could represent payoffs. This could represent a win in the end or something working out in your benefit if you stay patient and stay the course, which is a good thing. Patience being rewarded. That's a huge theme. However, in the challenging aspect, the Seven of Pentacles can absolutely represent feeling a lack of patience or feeling like your patience is running thin. So that might be something to watch out for with the Seven of Pentacles. But it is also a very highly karmic card of reaping what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. So with the Tower and the Seven of Pentacles, very, very karmic energy that we want to keep a close eye on. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Three of Cups. And I normally love the Three of Cups. We see those people, they're gathered around, they're reunited, they're raising a toast. To me, this is a card of wins and victories. It's happiness, joyousness, merriment. I always say that this gets a bit of a bad reputation because, yes, of course, it can represent group things, group dynamics. So whether it's work, home, family, personal life, it's like not just one individual or even two. It's like a group dynamic that we could be looking at here. Or it might just be telling us something about someone that's in your circle that we might want to look at or that you might want to keep an eye on. But normally the Three of Cups, again, is celebrating. It's happy. There's like a reason for this celebration. The I mean, it can be partying and stuff like that too. So I would say in this time, watch out for that. Watch out for any overindulgence because we did have that temptation early on with the femme fatale. But you see what I mean? Like the way the energy plays is very perplexing. Like, yes, we have the karmic energy, we have super intense, super flat, and then a very enjoyable one. So maybe this is someone else's energy showing through, but I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Tower. If you're a tarot reader as well, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you'd like to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Let's go in on this Tower. Why is this Tower here for our good friends? For Aquarius, please. Interested, especially with like how the energy's. This actually might be really good. This actually might be very, very good. And I don't want to jump the shark just yet, but we got the Ten of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Tower. This is like a shocking win or victory right here. Now, I always say wins, victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's monetary. With all these pentacles surrounding this Tower, if there's anything like work related, business related, money related, investment related, huge potential, huge upside. And this does feel like a shocking win, because when I see the Ten of Pentacles, it's everything, right? This is someone that's like completely content. They have everything they want. This is a wish fulfillment type of card. So does this mean that every Aquarius in the world is going to have a life-changing type of win? No, but some of you will. I could definitely say that. But for another portion of you, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't even see this coming. I'll take that. So I love this energetic potential. And I always say, like, a tarot reading is just an energetic weather report, right? The weather is looking pretty damn fine right here on this front end. I think that's really, really good. Probably the best case scenario we could ask for when it comes to a Tower. Now, again, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself because there's still a lot of reading left. I want to see what the Seven of Pentacles has to see if we get a little yin yang thing going on. But I just have to call it how I see it. And Tower with the Ten of Pentacles, unless you're having issues with like living situation, which I'm not even getting that. That's like, I don't want to force that message in there. The main thing I'm picking up here is a shocking win. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to collect that win and put it in our pocket. Let's keep moving over to the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, no need to complicate it. No need to complicate it. Wow. That just felt way better than expected. And normally, whenever I clarify a Tower, I try to stay as neutral as possible. As soon as that Ten of Pentacles came out in the upright, I'm like, whoa, in a good way. So let's see what the Seven has. So why is the Seven of Pentacles here? And it's just easy. There's just something here that's easy. So we have the Five of Wands in reverse underneath the Seven of Pentacles, where it's like, I don't even have to do anything. Like, I didn't even really have to do much. Like who knew it was this easy? That is so unique, my friends. Now, for some of you, this could also represent getting help or assistance. Like when I see the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Wands, it's like, I don't know, it feels like someone might come in to try to help me or give me assistance, which I think is good. So if you're dealing with any situations where you kind of feel like you're out there on your own, or there's a support structure, that's what I'm picking up here that I really, really love. Now, the Five of Wands is usually a card in its positive sense in the upright. I always say you don't have to be an expert to understand it. That's determined, it's pushing, can't stop, won't stop. I'm going to keep taking action, right? And it could also be conflict and anger and problems. So when I see it in reverse under a very chill card like this Seven of Pentacles, it's like, oh, like I didn't even have to try. Like there's just something about how this energy flows. So when we combine both of these messages on the front, this is actually very exciting. Where it's something where it's like I'm only making it harder on myself, or the harder I make. Like, there's something where if I don't try, it just happens. I don't know. Like you know how sometimes where you don't really care about something, or you're very neutral about it, and oh, all right, that manifested really quick. It's something like that. Something like that. So I think it's great. I'm not telling you to go around and not care about anything that's going on in your life. I'm not saying that. But there's just something about this where it's easy. It falls in the lap, and it could be tied to this win here where it's like, who knew it was that simple? Sometimes in life things are so simple that they seem complicated. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here in the middle, where it's like, who knew it was this simple? It was so easy. It was just like pressing a button. Let's go in on the Three of Cups. Exciting stuff. Definitely exciting stuff. So let's go in on that three. Okay. I mean, if there's any area that I'm a little cautious about, it would be this, because I have the Strength card in reverse underneath this Three of Cups. And this is like an energy that's like, screw it, I'm going to party. It's like one of those. And again, nothing wrong with that. No judgment here. Usually, remember, strength, it represents someone's character, but it also represents resistance, restraint. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off. Remember what I was saying about temptation? Strength in reverse under the Three of Cups is like, you know what? I'm tired of being so strict. I'm tired of restraining myself. I'm tired of this. I'm just going to have fun. Like it just feels very lighthearted and it's an energy that's letting loose. The only reason I'm a little skeptical about this let loose type of energy, because I do believe everyone should make time for fun, like work life balance and that type of stuff, where it's like if you've been going through a rough time, you should do something enjoyable. But with the Three of Cups and Strength in reverse, this could be an energy that could go overboard, where it's like, all right, have fun, but not too much fun. Like this energy could actually get to the point of being wild, like party, like a frat party or something like that. I know that's very specific, but this is an energy like when it lets loose, it really lets loose. So no judgment here. Just watch out. Like if there's something you've been refraining from or restraining yourself about, it's like, all right, let's kick these floodgates open. Let's make up for lost time. It's like one of those. But let's go through and do a quick recap. So overall, I like the reading here this week. It definitely threw me some curveballs, my friends. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start with a banger, right? We have the Tower with the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Shocking winner victory. Just beautiful. It's out of the blue. I love it. Specifically with work, money, finance, material world stuff, energy's looking way up when it comes to that. Moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands in reverse, something that just kind of happens. That just kind of happens how it was meant to, where it's like, oh, that was very easy, actually. Like, I didn't even really have to do much to make it happen, if anything. So I like that. I'll take that. There could be a situation or something you look back in retrospect and say, you know what? I overcomplicated that thing, or somebody might be overcomplicating a thing. Overall, though, love this front end energy. On the back end, we party, right? We got the Three of Cups with Strength in reverse. I already said it's like making up for lost time. Very celebratory. So we got wins all over the place this week, total opposite of what we saw last week. But yeah, to me, it's like I refrained myself. I stopped myself from doing something. But you know what? Now, screw it. I'm just going to let it rip. So again, have a good time, enjoy yourself, do things that bring you enjoyment. But as with all things, balance, my friend. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out here. Another thing that's popping up to me as I get this shadow card out with the Three of Cups and Strength card in reverse, it's like almost peer pressure as well, so watch out for that. I know that's very hyper specific, where it's like, hey, Aquarius, come on, try this or do this. Let's go do this. There's something about it that feels a little peer pressure, right? Like, oh, you'll be cool if you do this, Aquarius. Okay, so Hanged Man in the shadows, total opposite, kind of more similar to what we have here. Now, the Hanged Man is usually a retracted, pulled back type of energy. There's several zodiac signs that pair with it. Virgo, Pisces, some people even give it to Scorpio. It's not a miserable energy, it's not a miserable card, but it is extremely analytical. So when this shows up in the shadows, there might be something where Spirit's saying, like, hey, don't do anything physically just yet. Just there might be something that needs your attention, that needs your eyes, or just needs further scrutiny for some reason. Because that's a big thing. Like the Hanged Man isn't miserable, but it's taking in information and it's watching. Another thing to note with this card in the shadows, you might be getting a little more attention than you normally do when this card shows up because it is one of the watchers of the tarot deck. So just keep that in mind. Or maybe there's something you're keeping an eye on, very possible. But this card is absolutely saying, like, hey, don't either it's not acting and it's just absorbing information. It doesn't feel miserable to me, though, which I think is good. Even if you are in a situation, though, where you're feeling a little bit stuck, with this in the shadows and then with everything we saw in the front, like any feelings of stuck or not changing, no movement, that's just an illusion. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.